Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today you are on page 123 of your student journal, and our lesson is lesson 9. So our goal today is, I needed a new marker. Today I will move on a coordinate plane using cardinal directions. So we started this yesterday talking about these cardinal directions. And if I look down in my vocab section, what we see right here a compass rose, and they have my 4 cardinal directions: north, east, south, and west. And yesterday we talked about that when you read them, you read it in clockwise order. So it goes in this order. So north, east, south, west. And we also talked about some little tricks to help you remember it. So I always was taught never eat sour watermelon, never eat shredded wheat, never eat soggy waffles. But some way we need to remember that. We also talked about yesterday that it's a good idea to label your problems, never eat sour watermelon or north, east, south, west, just so you have that to refer to. And then we also talked about, we're not going to forget some other little strategies that will help us, that we're always going to make the point. So make point. If the problem gives us the little picture, we're going to make sure we mark where our actual coordinate point is. And then we always talked about we're still going to label our first and second. So label the first and the second location. So those are some things that we're going to continue to do just to help us be more successful and make less mistakes. Okay, so what does this actually look like? It's going to be very similar to yesterday. My first problem, and notice I grabbed my red pen, so you can just set your pencil down and watch, says, Greg is at the barber shop. To get to the bagel shop, he needs to go 6 blocks east and 5 blocks north. What is the location of the bagel shop? Okay, so a few things I'm going to do to help me is I'm going to make sure I mark my point, which is right there. I'm going to label my cardinal directions, north, east, south, and west. And then I'm going to pay close attention to my question. Where's my first location? It says Greg's at the barber shop. To get to the bagel shop, he needs to go. So my barber shop is my first location. My bagel shop is my second, and they're telling me how to get there. So they say to get to the bagel shop, he needs to go 6 blocks east. So if he's at the barber shop, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 east. And then they told us he's going to go 5 blocks north. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks north. And that is where he ends up at his second location, the bagel shop. So they want to know what is the location of the bagel shop. So that's going to be an ordered pair. My x coordinate is 9. And my y coordinate is 5. So my bagel shop is located at 9, 5. Okay, let's see another one of these. Okay, it says if the barber shop is 8 blocks east and 4 blocks north of the cinema, where is the cinema located? Okay, so this is that tricky one where they're giving me the opposite directions. So they told me that the barber shop is 8 east of the cinema and 4 north of the cinema. So they're telling me how to get to the barber shop from the cinema. This is that tricky one where they started at the cinema and then they showed me how to get to my second location. So I'm going to have to, let me first put my cardinal directions to help me, north, east, south, west. This time I'm going to have to go the opposite because I'm going to backtrack. Remember, if you're going to go somewhere that if you walk to school and to get to school you went east and north, to get home you can't go east and north. You have to do the opposite. So instead of going 8 blocks east, I'm going to go 8 blocks west. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And instead of going 4 blocks north, I'm going to go 4 blocks south. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that this is where the cinema or movie theater is at. Now, because this is a tricky one, I probably want to check that and see if this makes sense. It says, the barber shop is located east of the cinema. If this is the cinema, is the barber shop east of the cinema? Yes. Okay, let's read it again. The barber shop is located north of the cinema. If this is the cinema, is the barber shop really north of it? Yes. So that's a good way to go back and check to make sure you didn't make a silly mistake. So they want to know, where is the cinema? The cinema's X coordinate is right here, which is 0. And the cinema's Y coordinate, sorry, it's kind of messy there, is a 3. So that is where my cinema is located. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's try some of these together. Grab your pencil, and I'm going to grab my green pen. And I am on page 124. So it tells me Peter's at the lighthouse. To get to the bridge, he needs to go 7 blocks west and 1 block north. What is the location of the bridge? Okay, so let's start by marking our actual point where the lighthouse is. And let's start by putting our cardinal directions. Never eat sour watermelon, north, east, south, west. Okay, then we probably want to read this carefully and see which one was our first one. It says he's at the lighthouse. And then they're telling us how to get to the bridge. So this is his first location. So for this one, I don't need to switch them because they're just going to tell me from to get to one here, how to get to our second location. So it says to get to the bridge, he needs to go 7 blocks west. Okay, so this is west, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he needs to go 1 block north. So let's go 1 block north, and that is where our second location, the bridge, should be at. So what is the bridge located? Our X is 2, and our Y is 10. And that is where our bridge is located. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, this one says, if the train station is 8 blocks east of the travel agency, where is the travel agency? Okay, so this is giving us directions from the travel agency to the train station. So this is that tricky one where this is our second location. I'm going to mark my cardinal directions, north, east, south, west. And what I'm going to have here now is, because they're telling me how I got from my first location, the travel agency, to the second location, train station, I'm going to have to do those backwards. So it says if the train station's 8 blocks east of the travel agency. So instead of going east, let's go west. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then notice there's no going north or south, so that's just where we're going to leave it. So this is where I think the travel agency is at. I think the travel agency is right here. And I could even check that. So it says the train station is east of the travel agency. Is that true? Is the train station east of the travel agency? Yes. Okay, so that tells me that I'm right. Now they want me to say where it's located. So my X for my travel agency is 1. My Y for my travel agency is 5. So my ordered pair is 1, 5. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Today you have quite a few pages to practice. I want you to practice page 125, 126, and 127. Have a nice afternoon. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.